My neighbor is right in front of this window washing his car, and this is really awkward because I'm right in front of the window, and if he looks up he will probably see me. It's really awkward, but we're gonna power through. So hello, welcome to another video. Welcome here if you are new. On today's video we're gonna basically hang out and chill with each other while I tell you about 12 books that are upcoming for the next few weeks, months, until the end of the year basically. I didn't really prepare this video. Usually I have these books organized by the date they are coming out. This time I didn't do anything, I just have the list on my Goodreads. I believe some of them have already come out, others definitely have come out already in the United States, but not here in the UK, so I'm still gonna mention as upcoming books. But I'm gonna try my best to mention what date they are coming out, even though some of them I don't have their information here, precisely because I only have the US release date, which has already happened. And if you wanna check out the first video that I did for the first half of the year, let's call it, I'll leave the link up here in the cards and as well down there in the description, so you can go check out that video. Now let's get started. First book I have here is something that somehow I haven't seen anyone talking about it, and I don't know why is that, because it's a very well-known author, and why is no one talking about the upcoming of this video? I literally heard one person and one person only sharing a picture of this on Instagram, and then I went on Goodreads to look into it, and here it is. And I even went to the author's Instagram and there was no pictures of this book, so I don't know if this hasn't been confirmed yet. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm talking about Layla by Colleen Hoover. I know, why is no one talking about it? I don't know. So expected publication date is 8th of December 2020, and let's read what the synopsis says about this one. When Leeds meets Layla, he's convinced he'll spend the rest of his life with her, until an unexpected attack leaves Layla fighting for her life. After weeks in the hospital, Layla recovers physically, but the emotional and mental scarring has altered the woman Leeds fell in love with. In order to put their relationship back on track, Leeds whisks Layla away to the bed and breakfast where they first met. Once they arrive, Layla's behavior takes a bizarre turn, and that's just one of the many inexplicable occurrences. It's probably gonna be emotional heating, just like Colleen has made us all used to about her books, about a couple that things changed, and yeah, bring it on. Why is no one talking about it? Please someone explains. Next, another book. I believe this one has already come out in the States. First published 25th of April 2019. That's weird. I'm pretty sure it came out in the United States, but this year, so I don't know what's up with this. But I'm talking about Anxious People by Frederick Backman. And the description of this one, I'm not even sure. I think it's a robbery in a bank. This is a poignant comedy about a crime that never took place, a would-be bank robber who disappears into thin air, and the 8 extremely anxious strangers who find they have more in common than they ever imagined. So it's a robbery, but not really because it never happened. I don't know, seems interesting. I haven't actually read anything by Frederick Backman. I believe I have 1 or 2 of his books in my shelves, but have I read them? No. But I don't know, it sounds interesting and the cover is pretty. Yeah. Next up on my list, what do we have? Leave the World Behind by Ruman Alam. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, Ruman Alam. And I don't know about the author, and I don't know about the book. I don't know why this is on my 2020 anticipated list. I don't remember what the story is about. Let's find out. A magnetic novel about 2 families, strangers to each other, who are forced together on a long weekend gone terribly wrong. Amanda and Clay head out to a remote corner of Long Island, expecting a vacation, a quiet reprieve from life in New York City, quality time with their teenage son and daughter, and a taste of the good life in the luxurious home they've rented for the week. But a late-night knock on the door breaks the spell. Ruth and G.H. are an older black couple. It's their house, and they've arrived in a panic. They bring the news that a sudden blackout has swept the city. But in this rural area, with the TV and internet now down and no cell phone service, it's hard to know what to believe. Should Amanda and Clay trust this couple, and vice versa? What happened back in New York? Is the vacation home, isolated from civilization, a truly safe place for their families? Are they safe from one another? And the expected publication date is 6th of October 2020. It seems very interesting, probably more like a mystery kind of thriller vibes. Interesting. Review so far has 3.98 out of 5, so not bad, and most people have given it 4 and 5 stars. Actually, 35% have given it 5 stars and 35% has given it 4 stars. So not bad at all. Definitely bring it on. I'm curious to read it. This one, I've seen it all over Instagram. Apparently everyone's reading this, especially in America. Once again, I think lots of reviewers have received arcs of this one. The cover is stunning. I don't know, it literally has nothing special about it. Look at it, but it's stunning. When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. Sydney Green is Brooklyn born and raised, but her beloved neighborhood seems to change every time she blinks. Condos are sprouting like weeds, for sale signs are popping up overnight, and the neighbors she's known all her life are disappearing. To hold on to her community's past and present, Sydney channels her frustration into a walking tour and finds an unlikely and unwanted assistance in one of the new arrivals to the block, her neighbor Theo. But Sydney and Theo deep dive into history becomes a dizzying descent into paranoia and fear, okay? Their neighbors may not have moved to the suburbs after all, and the push to revitalize the community may be more deadly than advertised. When does coincidence become conspiracy? Where do people go when gentrification pushes them out? Can Sydney and Theo trust each other or themselves long enough to find out before they too disappear? Okay, I'm down. First published 1st of September 2020, so like I said, it's already out in the United States. I don't think it's out here in the UK though. But yeah. Now, something that I'm not going to be reading because I never read the first one. It was adapted to a movie as well, and I'm talking about Ready Player One. I had no idea, but Ready Player 2 is coming out. Expected publication 24th of November 2020. Next up, Nicholas Sparks, the author of all the emotional damaging books, is coming out with a new book. It's called The Return. It comes out in 22nd of June 2020, so technically it's already out. Don't know about here in the UK. Let's see what Nicholas Sparks has wrote about this time. In the romantic tradition of Dear John and the Lucky Ones, New York Times best-selling author Nicholas Sparks returns with the story of an injured Navy doctor and two women whose secrets will change the course of his lives. Ooh! It's been a while since I read something from Nicholas Sparks. I believe I read something from him 2 years ago, and it damaged me, like it's impossible, so very curious. Then, Kristen and Lauren, the duo of the Unhoneymooners, are coming out with a new book. It's called In a Holidays, something regarding Christmas, I believe. Comes out October 20th, and what is this about? Who knows? No one knows. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but 30-year-old Maylene Jones is in the midst of a major crisis. She's living with her mom, hates her boring job, and has yet to make any romantic progresses with Andrew, the friend she's been in love with for the last 13 years. But perhaps, worst of all, this is the last Christmas May will be at her favorite place in the world, the Utah cabin where she and her family have spent every holiday since she was born. As she drives away from the cabin for the final time, May throws out what she thinks is a simple wish to the universe. Show me what will make me happy. The next thing she knows, there's a screech of tires and metal, followed by May gasping awake on an airplane bound for Utah. Now May has the chance to live the holidays all over again, but with one disaster after another sending her repeatedly back in time, she has to figure out how to end this strange holiday loop and get Andrew under the mistletoe. Otherwise, she's going to need a miracle. With Christina Lauren's trademark heartfelt and funny, this swoon-worthy romance will make you believe in the power of wishes and the magic of the holidays. Oh, I've only read The Honeymooners from them, but I was completely taken apart by that book. I wasn't expecting to like it that much, but I did, and now I want to read more things from them, and this sounds funny. Travels back in time and then everything goes wrong. Sign me in. Next up, we have The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. This is a new book by the author of One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next, and the other book she wrote. This comes out 1st of December. It's a thriller that says Millie Aubrey and Jonah Story are cousins, but they barely know each other and they've never even met their grandmother. Rich and reclusive, she disinherited, I don't know how to pronounce this word, their parents before they were born. So they each receive a letter inviting them to work at her island resort for the summer. They're surprised and curious. Their parents are clear on one point. Not going is not an option. This could be an opportunity to get back into grandmother's good graces. But when the cousins arrive on the island, it's immediately clear that she has different plans for them. And the longer they stay, the more they realize how mysterious and dark their family's past is. The entire Story family has secrets. Whatever pulled them apart years ago isn't over, and this summer the cousins will learn everything. Ooh! I wasn't that excited about this book, but now I am. Now I am. Have I mentioned it comes out December 1st? Yes, I'm excited now. Even if we break by, hold on, it's loading, by, I don't know if I know how to pronounce this, probably not. Marieke Nijkamp? Marieke Nijkamp? I'm so sorry. What is this? I believe this is also a thriller. Oh, and it's one of those that people start disappearing. It just says, 5 friends go to a cabin. 4 of them are hiding secrets. 3 years of history bind them. 2 are doomed from the start. 1 person wants to end this. No one is safe. Are you ready to play? Yes, I'm ready. Marieke Nijkamp, I'm ready. I'm so ready. Yes, I love things that have games and things. Next up, one of my most anticipated reads of the year is One by One by Ruth Ware. Ruth Ware is the author of The Turn of the Key, one of my all-time favorite books. So of course, I want to read whatever she comes up with out next. So yes, One by One by Ruth Ware. And this has a certain The Hunting Party vibes where a group of friends are in a cabin in the woods or something. What does it say? Getting snowed in at a beautiful rustic mountain chalet doesn't sound like the worst problem in the world, especially when there's a breathtaking vista, a cozy fire, and company to keep you warm. But what happens when that company is 8 of your co-workers and you can't trust any of them? Yep. So basically a group of friends, in this case they are co-workers, they are stuck in a cabin together. Yep, I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, and the expected publication date is 8th of September 2020. So it's out already in America, but in the UK, I believe it's somewhere in November. I'll put it on the screen, but I believe it's November. Next, this one is also already out in America, is What You Wish For by Catherine Center. Came out June 24th. In the UK, I believe it's actually only next year. I'm not sure, the date will be on the screen. Catherine Center so far has 2 books, I believe. The first one that I read from her was Things You Save in a Fire, 5 stars for me, love that book. And then in the beginning of this year, it was actually the first book that I read this year was How to Walk Away. And there's a whole rant of me, so I'll leave it here in the card, of me talking about that book and how disappointing it was and how ridiculous the story was. So this is going to be probably my make it or break it for Catherine Center in terms of do I keep reading what she writes or not. It's gonna probably depend if I like this book or not. Samantha Cassie is a school librarian who loves her job, the kids, and her school family with passion and joy for living. But she wasn't always that way. Duncan Carpenter is the new school principal who lives by rules and regulations, guided by the knowledge that bad things can happen. But he wasn't always that way. And Sam knows it, because she knew him before, at another school, in a different life. Back then, she loved him, but she was invisible. To him, to everyone, even to herself. She escaped to a new school, a new job, a new chance at living. But when Duncan, of all people, gets hired as a new principal there, it feels like the best thing that could possibly happen to the school, and the worst thing that could possibly happen to Sam, until the opposite turns out to be true. The lovable Duncan she'd known is now a suit and tie wearing, rule enforcing, tough guy, so hell-bent on protecting the school that he's willing to destroy it. As the school community spirals into chaos and danger from all corners looms large, Sam and Duncan must find their way to who they really are, what it means to be brave, and how to take a chance on love, which is the riskiest move of all. Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the love to hate trend, or maybe it's that one, the love to hate to love to hate, what? Love to hate to love trend. Yeah, it might be that. Love to hate to love trend. I don't know, but I'm curious. We are down to the last one, which has come out both in America and in the UK. In fact, I already own this in the UK version that has a different name. So the name that I knew this book for, and I've always seen this book online for this name, and on Goodreads I had it as this name as well, is The Shadows by Alex North. Now, when I looked for it, I couldn't find it here in the UK, and I was very confused. So then I looked for Alex North, and I was trying to find this new book, and I discovered that they have, for some reason, changed the title here in the UK. So here it's called The Shadow Friend, I believe it is. I'll pop the British cover here on the screen. It's the same author of The Whisper Man, which I've mentioned in the past, is a thriller book, but it has some horror vibes, not that scary that is a horror vibe, but a little bit, some vibes, some dips into the horror genre. And I've heard that this one book, The Shadow Friend, is even more towards the horror. So of course I'm curious to read it. In fact, I already have my own copy, but I'm not sure what it's about, so let's find out together. You knew a teenager like Charlie Crabtree, a dark imagination, a sinister smile, always on the outside of the group. Some part of you suspected he might be capable of doing something awful. 25 years ago, Crabtree did just that, committing a murder so shocking that it's attracted that strange kind of infamy that only exists on the darkest corners of the internet, and inspired more than one copycat. Paul Adams remembers the case all too well. Crabtree and his victim were Paul's friends. Paul has slowly put his life back together, but now his mother, old and senile, has taken a turn for the worse. Though every inch of him resists, it is time to come home. It's not long before things start to go wrong. Reading the news, Paul learns another copycat has struck. His mother is distressed, insistent that there's something in the house, and someone is following him, which reminds him of the most unsettling thing about that awful day 25 years ago. It wasn't just the murder. It was the fact that afterward, Charlie Crabtree was never seen again. What? The hunting new thriller from Alex North, author of the New York Times bestseller The Whisper Man. What the hell? I got chills just from reading this synopsis. I got chills just from reading this. Like, what? Ooh. Damn, girl. Yes, I'm definitely going to be reading this. And after this, I'm going to be reading this very soon because yes. So there you go, guys. These were the 12 books that I wanted to share with you that are upcoming for the next couple of weeks and months. Let me know in the comments if you are curious to read any of these. If any of these was actually unexpected for you, that if you didn't know these were coming out, but you are happy that you know now, all those things, basically talk to me in the comments, and I'll see you very soon here on the channel with another video. Bye!